ございます。私はニコルです。今日東京で話します。はじめまして。ようこそ。Good morning. My name is Nicole. Welcome. I'm going to be talking to you about Tokyo. I want to guide you through the futuristic yet traditional city of Tokyo. This guy? Yeah. Okay. I've done a lot of research on this topic because I have a lot of friends that live in Japan, and I've gone on tour with many musicians that have been visiting from Japan, and I also lived there for 2 months. How I think this relates to you, I think travel is really important for everyone. It opens your eyes to new cultures, and I think people who travel, or at least the people that I've come into contact with, I think they're more open-minded. You do see the cultural differences, but you also see that no matter where you go, there are certain commonalities that we all share. And another reason why I think this is important is because I'm sure all of you guys have heard of the tragic earthquake and subsequent tsunami that happened in Sendai. And even though Sendai is 2 hours or 2.5 hours north of Tokyo, I think it's good to see some pictures and hear other things other than the, people dying and all this tragic stuff. So hopefully you'll know a little bit more about Tokyo. I want to share how Tokyo is tourist friendly, how Tokyo has different cities with unique personalities, and how it's full of attractions or goods or services that Tokyo is famous for. So the first thing that I want to talk about is how Tokyo is tourist friendly. So how many people here know how to read kanji? Yeah, okay, a couple people. Most of us don't even know what kanji is. It's basically characters that represent a word or a symbol or a picture, that kind of stuff. Whereas in English we have the alphabet, and then we put the alphabet in different order and we make words. But in Japan, even though you don't know kanji, they have a lot of signs that are in English or in picture form. So you'll see a toilet if you want to go to the bathroom, or you'll see a picture of sushi. And so you can figure things out without having to actually read kanji. The second thing is Tokyo is known for public transportation. Now, before I went to Tokyo, I was kind of scared because the only subways that I had heard of were the New York subways, and I just hear how it's smelly and there are like homeless people or robbers or pee everywhere or rats or anything, but Tokyo subway is totally different. Like, everyone takes the subway because it's so efficient. It's always on time. You see how clean this is? They also have certain carts that when it gets really crowded, sometimes there are problems with female groping in public, so they'll have female carts, so you feel really safe in Tokyo. Another thing is Tokyo has the lowest crime rate out of all the major cities in the world. So you can go out by yourself, you can go walk around at 2, 3 in the morning, and it's relatively safe for how many people. There are like 13 million people, and has the lowest crime rate in the world. And then if you do need help, if you get lost or whatever, there are these things called koban stations. They're basically like little police stations, but you can go there and ask them for help. You can look at maps, and they'll have people that speak English that can help you around. So basically they're like tourist guides all around the city. So when you do get into Tokyo, there are many different cities that you can visit with unique personalities. I kind of relate it to New York City, how there's like 5th Avenue, which is like the rich part of the city, and then you've got like the cool British village. Tokyo has the same thing. So first we have Marunouchi. This is the city known for the financial district. It also has the East Imperial Palace where the emperor used to live back in the day, and that's what that looks like. This is in the middle of the city. It's so gorgeous. Another city that we have is Ginza. Ginza is like their 5th Avenue. And it has designer shops and luxury condos all over the place, and you just see women in fancy kimonos, or even non-traditional dress, like modern dress, and they'll have these like $12,000 bags. Ginza is the rich part of Tokyo. Another city that we have is Shinjuku. Shinjuku is a metropolitan area. It's like downtown Tokyo. And this is Shinjuku-gyoen, which is like their version of Central Park in the city. And this is the Shinjuku, and it's so beautiful. It has like koi and everything. Another city, have you guys heard of the Harajuku girls with Gwen Stefani? Harajuku is known for their crazy, outlandish fashions. Pharrell Williams from NERD has a clothing shop there. It's really high-end, but it's also teenage girls from high school. And they'll go up and they'll do this crazy makeup and crazy fashions. They're known from all over the world. You can go take pictures with them. Another city that we have is Shibuya. Shibuya is where you want to go when you want to party. And another place that you want to party is Roppongi. This looks like the Eiffel Tower. It's actually the Tokyo Tower, smaller version of the Eiffel Tower. Now, Roppongi and Shibuya are the best places to go to party because the train is only operating from 5 a.m. to midnight. So if you want to go to the bars, you either have to come home before midnight if you're not taking a taxi or anything, or you have to stay out till 5 a.m. And that's where you stay up till 5 a.m. And all the foreigners are there, so it's great to go to another culture, but if you feel like you want something from home, you're going to run into people from Georgia over here. You're going to run into Australians and other people that speak English. All the gaijin, which are the foreigners, go to Roppongi. Okay? And the last city that I wanted to talk about is Akihabara. Japan is really, really known for their electronics, their manga, which is comic books, and their crazy sex shops. Like, which is kind of like a weird combination. When I went to Akihabara, I went to go get a camera. And in one store was a camera shop. Next to it was an arcade, which there were all a bunch of kids. And then next to that was this really weird sex shop with costumes ranging from petite to 4XL male. And these are women's costumes, so I'll show you a couple pictures of that. Not of the actual costumes, but see, here are the arcade games. You go to Akihabara, these are where the comics are animated in the major cities. And then there's this weird, this is the subway in Akihabara, and this can be taken different ways. You can see this as a childish thing or a sex thing because you're going through her legs and you can see up her dress. It's really weird. They'll have things like kinky things, but in cute cartoon form. So it's really funny. So anyway, whatever city you decide to visit, there are things that Japan is known for that you can find all over the place. And that is temples, food, electronics. Hello Kitty is huge over there. I saw like Hello Kitty buses, and if you guys have heard of Pikachu, there's a Pikachu museum that I got to go to. These are all over the place if you can't decide which city that you want to visit. So hopefully, after seeing my presentation, you've learned that Tokyo is tourist friendly. It has many different cities with different personalities, and you can find all the things that you love about Japanese culture in every city. Arigatou gozaimashita.
So Ashley, what did you think?
I thought that the opening in a different language was really interesting because we're from America and all of we here over here in California is Spanish and English, so I thought that was actually really interesting. I thought it was a good introduction. She clearly stated what she wanted to show us about Tokyo and everything. I liked how she knew how to pronounce everything well. She wasn't struggling to pronounce everything. I liked how she defined kanji. And she seemed very comfortable up there, very laid back. I liked how she also was not talking to her presentation when the pictures were up. She was talking to us and using hand gestures. I thought her visual aids were very nice. One thing that I did notice is you could use a little more of the ums. You didn't use too many, but when you did, just let it be like a natural pause and you would have been fine. Pretty much, that's it.
All right. Well, I'll echo a lot of the things that you said. I thought the opening was fine. Is very interesting. You had an excellent transition to the topic. You spent a lot of time giving us a justification for listening to the speech. In the preview, I thought that you did a pretty good job, although it's not kind of broken out. You have to be listening carefully for it, but it was clearly there. It wouldn't hurt to maybe emphasize it a little bit more. There's a lot of material in the speech. You got a lot of factual data, so I'm not hearing any source citations, and that's kind of understandable since a lot of what you're talking about is not necessarily something that's dependent on opinion, but you don't want to necessarily refer to an encyclopedia for every fact about one of those places. That just seems a little overdone. I thought everything in the body of the speech was really solid. There was one transition that I didn't think was as smooth as it might have been, but everything else was really solid. Is the last point. It seemed like it kind of rushed into it and you were out of it very quickly. The visual materials, I like all of the images that you used. They illustrated points. I kind of missed the one section where you were talking, was it kanji? You know, okay, now I wanted to see those damn signs that you're talking about that make it so easy for everybody to find something without being able to read that. And I thought, well, look, there's a perfect visual illustration, and I didn't get that. I got some other things and said, nothing wrong with the other things, but that was one of those things that I kind of hoped for. Those are minor quibbles. Everything else, it was really solid, very nicely delivered. You had a lot of information. It's well organized. I thought you bit off just as much as you could chew, you know, except right at the end where it seemed like that attraction section was a little bit less developed. The first 2 points were really, yeah, time flies. Like I said, it always goes quickly, faster than you expect it to. All right. I have Michael set up to go, and are you the only other person that we have as a make good today?
No, one more.
Who else did we have? You guys said it and I couldn't hear. J.R. Giovanna. Oh, Giovanna, that's right. I don't have her material. That's why I didn't know. All right, and Michael is supposed to be evaluated by, this is from the other day, Vincent's supposed to do the written evaluation, and Nicole, you're supposed to do the oral evaluation.